Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. So, I guess we can start off with the whole Jack, Carly, and Sunny, and Jocelyn, and Michael, and anyone else that I forgot that was in that damn room. My goodness, there were so many damn people in this episode. I know I'm going to wind up forgetting a couple of people. I'm going to try to do my live stream tonight. Can't guarantee it, but I'm going to do my best to try. Because I know I'm going to wind up forgetting a couple of people and a couple of scenes because it's like they just crammed everyone in like they usually do at this point, and it's so annoying. Anyway, there's a point where after Sunny is very standoffish and makes everything kind of awkward, and he tells Carly, "It's like, are you sure like about this guy? Are you sure you can sit there and trust him in his house and everything?" And I don't know if he knows that Brennan is the reason why Carly's not in jail in the first place. Yeah, we can all agree that those charges are bogus, but it is what it is. And the reason why she's not in jail is because of him. But eventually, he winds up leaving. Jason comes over, and here's the thing: Jason acts like an ungrateful dick to him, right? And I get it, I don't trust the guy and everything like that, but you do realize that you wouldn't be standing there if it wasn't for Jack and his drone strike. And he acts like he just totally forgot about that. And it's weird to me to sit there and say this, like it's weird, but it's not weird. So before, I used to sit there and do reviews, I would just sit there and watch the show. And as a fan, and it's just as a fan point, especially back then, I could have forgave Jason for anything. Anything that he did wrong, I would just find a way to just either ignore it or just act like it wasn't that big of a deal. And it wasn't until I started doing reviews that I started kind of looking at the whole picture. And so it's kind of weird to sit there and call Jason a dick, especially, or being an ungrateful dick, especially since when I was in high school. I tell the story all the time. When I was in high school, Jason was my guy. He was my guy so much that I bought like a bunch of black t-shirts, right? Just because it was like, Jason, this dude's awesome. But now it's just like, between that and him being a sucker punching bitch, I give a lot of characters smoke, even the characters that I like. But Danny is still, he's still sad and stuff like that about his mom. And you go outside and you have this talk and everything like that, and I guess it's fine, but it just, okay, it doesn't, it was fine, it was nice. I don't really do the whole touchy-feely moment stuff, but I guess it was kind of nice. It's also kind of sour, too, because it's like, the real reason why she's gone. So that even for me, it just kind of puts a damper on that scene in a sense. Um, there's also a point where Jack is not there talking to Jocelyn. He's like, listen, I'm sorry for your loss and everything like that. And, Dex seemed like a good guy, and I know that you two were dating and stuff. And Jocelyn's like, yeah, how do you know about that? And at first he tries to cover it up. Oh, I do WSB and, we know about stuff that goes on. Well, like the local police and stuff. And she was like, yeah, I'm not talking about that. I mean, like, how do you know that me and him were dating? And he was like, oh, well, Carly told me. And for a guy who has been in the WSB for years and been a spy and everything like that, how do you let something like that slip? That's number one. Number two, why do you know that? You know what I'm saying? Like, but why do you know that? Why do you know who her child is not there seeing? Why do you know that? I just thought that was kind of weird. Um, Nothing too exciting that goes on at the Scorpion place other than Cody coming in and giving um, James his hat that is way too big for him. But Anna the whole time is missing that they're talking about this surprise and everything like that. Everyone's gonna be, super excited for the surprise and stuff. Now I knew most likely it was not gonna get Robin to come back because the actress retired from acting. I know that she does directing and stuff, but doesn't really do any acting anymore. So it turns out the surprise was Emma. And I know some people are going to be kind of upset or disappointed because it's not the same actress who played Emma originally. But honestly, tell you the truth, for me, I'm just like, I really wouldn't have cared if it was, you know? Because there's a point where Sasha's sitting there talking to Anna, and I thought she was going to sit there and talk about Robin. That's her half sister and stuff. And I thought she was like, what is Robin like and stuff like that, just to kind of get to know her half sister. But they wound up talking about Robert, which is a shame because just when they decided to make them cousins and make her have, be a part of the Scorpion family, Robert's gone. So any sort of scenes that they would have had, any sort of bonding scenes, is just not there. And it just reinforces just how much of a stupid decision that was to make her um Robert's daughter. But yeah, Emma comes in, everyone hugs her and everything like that, and it's just like, yeah, this was kind of a lame surprise, if we're gonna be honest. Now this random thing happened with Gio, where this girl comes over and I guess she like hands him like a wallet or something. And at some point, they're walking around or whatever, he's doing something and he finds out that the guy's not reporting his wallet being lost and stuff to the cop. And the girl comes back and the girl's like, okay, well I need the wallet back. And Gio's like, no, because you stole that. And she's like, well, the guy had it coming. Okay, what happened? And apparently from her, she's like the guy wound up stealing a couple of items from some woman that was not there, some vendor or whatever that was selling stuff. And she wants to sit there and take some money. This way, the vendor can get back what she stole or what got stolen from her. And I'm kind of just like, okay, I mean, I guess it's like kind of weird. You just made him an accomplice, but okay, sure. At some point where Christina and Sonny turn around, I mean, where at some point when Sonny and Christina sees Gio, and Gio's like, oh, he talks about this girl, and they're like, oh, well, what girl? And he turns around and she's gone. I'm just like, it seems so random, but at this point, I don't care because if it gives this man a story, if it gives this kid a story, then I guess I'll be cool with it. I mean, it's kind of weird. They waited like 8 and 9 months to sit there and give him something to do. And he gets like less than 7 minutes of screen time actually doing something productive. Okay. Kind of a weird schedule, but what happens when you just have too many damn people on the show? Okay. I gotta sit there and say I did enjoy the scene with Rick and Alexis, sniping at each other, going back and forth at Alexis, like, let's do something nice, Molly, let's sit there and decorate the house and stuff. They do this kind of hilarious things where it's like they're like throwing stuff on each other, and there's one point where Rick is not there decorating the Christmas tree, and Alexis like ties him up or whatever with like the lights and stuff like that. It was kind of funny. I'll sit there and say that much. But as I'm watching this scene, I can't but help think at one point they used to actually be in love. At one point they used to be in love to a point where they got married. And it's almost kind of sad, you know? Yeah, relationships don't always turn out how you want them to be. But you kind of stand there just like, God damn. I mean, I know with the Rick character, towards the end they just showed him bringing out his worst features possible as a human being. But watching them go back and forth and stuff, up until the point where I think Rick said thank you, it was like, damn, they used to actually be married, had a child together, before they decided to just write Rick just like the scum of the earth. Um, so Lulu comes in. Well, new Lulu, rings the doorbell, whatever, and Tracy hugs her. And just one of the things that she does sit there and tell her is, "Don't forget about your son." Like, Charlotte is not with a total stranger. She is with her father, right? But while this is going on, Brooklyn's sitting there just looking down and just, being kind of mad and, let's be honest, kind of jealous. And so she walks in the kitchen and she's venting to Chase about how she always feels like she's the star of everything and she always wants the attention, just like really fuming. And all it really comes across as just jealousy. But for some odd random reason, Chase is like, well, just let you know, when I first came to town, I had a crush on her. And it's like, why would you say that? Like, why would you say that? Yes, he did make it up by saying, how much, he really cared that, Brooklyn was there for him during the whole Finn and Gregory thing. But still, why would you just, like, why would you say that to your wife? That really did not help. It's as much as out of pocket as when, I was about to call him Chad, as when Michael's talking to Christina. And Christina is like, I feel bad for Willow. And I get it. She's like doing something that's so bad and wishing you can take it back and that you can't take it back and there's really nothing you can do. But I'm like, why would you say that though? You know that Willow cheated on Michael. The whole house knows that, except for the little kids. So why would you say that? It just seems so thoughtless. Like it really does. Um, Again, she does want to leaving. Now, Lulu, that's another thing. Like, Lucky and Liz just seem completely pointless in this whole episode. At least with Laura, she had to sit there and be there to light the tree and everything like that. But even like Isaiah and Jordan just seemed kind of pointless. I mean, there was like a little flirty line that he wound up saying to her because he gives her a present, and the present is a towel. And I'm like, really? And he said something cheesy along the lines of, well, or was that how it was something along the lines of like he wanted the towel to like fall off of her or whatever, and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. That was whatever. But it again, I generally dislike episodes and they just try to cram everyone in together. Also, towards the end, Rocco does, he's texting Charlotte and he gives the phone to Lulu. And Lulu's talking to Charlotte. And Charlotte's like, listen, I'm not supposed to really be on the phone talking or texting. But she knew um that Lulu was awake and stuff like that. And I thought it was because of social media. But it turned out because um Rocco and Charlotte have been like talking and texting on the phone and stuff. So she's like, hey, listen, I'm gonna leave, but I don't want you to tell everyone because I don't want to sit there and break my word to her. And she did exactly what Tracy told her not to do, which was just go at it alone, just kind of just wait after the holidays, and if you need anything, you have the family's resources. And there's this whole other scene with Lois because they just gotta throw Lois into this stuff about Lois and Tracy talking about Brooklyn and Chase having a baby, and I'm kind of just like, this episode wasn't bad. Right? I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be a new episode tomorrow or whatever. But this episode wasn't bad. It was just a lot. Hell, when Molly comes back, she looks at Rick and Alexis, and she's like, "Am I in the right house?" But she is grateful because she was going to Ross Plaza and saw Christina and was just like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna do this. Like, I can't be nowhere near her." So she wasn't leaving and going to her house. And she saw the fact that mom and dad just kind of laid down the swords for a little bit to do something nice for her. Also, TJ was in this episode. He came in like 20 minutes later, um, saying that Isaiah covered his shifts and stuff. So at some point, they're gonna wind up knocking those. I don't really know what else to sit there and say about this episode. It wasn't terrible, but it just. Oh, did I mention that Maxie and Spinelli was in this episode along with Felicia and Mac? Because I'm pretty sure I forgot to do that along with Georgie. Yeah, I forgot to do that. I don't know. Whole lot of fluff, not really. Very little meat, I would sit there and say. Very little story. Hell, if I didn't actually, which I felt like I wrote a damn book, if I didn't actually write Liz's and Lucky's name in this episode, also Dante was there, which really didn't do anything except for, I don't want to sit there and say he's smoking around, right? Because he did sit there and lose Sam. I'm not going to sit there and say the love of his life, but he did sit there and wind up losing Sam, and now everyone's worried about him. Laura, Liz, Lucky, Rocco, no, not Rocco, Lulu, and I forgot who else, but I feel like that's pretty much about it. Um, I don't know. You can either watch my review or watch Brock TV's review. Well, you watch my review, so never mind. Either way, you can either watch one of us reviews and like not watch this episode, and you will be pretty much all caught up. Now, if I missed anything, write in the comment section below. I'm gonna sit there and try to do this live tonight. So anything that I miss, anything that people want to go over, we can sit there and talk about it then. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.